So CSS border creates an outlines. Okay, so if you look at this button, the outline here is this. You can see this thick black line around this button. So this is a perfect example of a border. All right, and then we have three properties of border. All right, so I'm going to use the internal style, CSS internal style. That way you can use the style tag, right? So I'm going to get some comments here. Say border. So the property you should focus on are the border width, the width of the border width, border width, border style, and then the border color. So if you decide to change the color of your border, the default is black actually, as you can see on this button. This is a black border or black outline, right? And then the style here is solid. So this straight or this linear line that you are seeing here is actually solid, which is the style. Okay, so we have different style actually. We have the solid, we have the dotted, we have dash. We have which other one? I think we still have one more, or a good number of them. And then if you don't want any border, you can set the values to none. All right. Then for the width, you can use values like 2 pixels, 5 pixels, 10 pixels, or you can use 10 rem, any units that you want. And then color, of course, you can use the color name, the RGB color, or the hexadecimal value color, or even the HSL, that's the hue, saturation, and lightness, if you know how to use the color. All right, so quickly let's see how we can use or create border. Okay, now HTML. So first, I would like to create a border on this H1 element. So my style, I will select the H1 type selector by using the type selector, right? Then open up the declaration block and write in the declaration block. So the first thing I want is width. So I want the width to be one pixels. Okay, and then border style to be good. So you see the different styles I want. We have the dashed here, dashed, dotted, double, yes, double. We have this groove, hidden, none. Then we have solid. Solid is actually the default value. So let's go with solid first. Solid. All right, and then the color. So black is now RGB. It's going to be 0, 0, 0. Right? Save. Then back to the browser. Refresh. Border is not coming up. Why is that? So border width 1 pixels, border style solid. Oh, border dash color. So you see that the browser is quite intelligent to know that there is an error right here, because there is not. Now the border that I use right here is a shorthand property. So if you are using border like this, you are expected to pass 3 values. So 1 for the border width, 2nd for the border style, and then 3rd for the border color. So passing just 1 value here won't actually generate any color or any border for you in your browser. So if I change this or correct this to border dash color, save to the browser, refresh, then we have the border, as you can see, for the black outline. So the width actually specifies the thickness of the border. So this is 1. Okay, if I change this to 2, you're going to see it's going to get more thicker. Okay, if I increase the value, let's say exponentially, if I give this 4, you see it's getting more thicker. If I change it to 8 now, you see. So we can actually control the value, the thickness of your border by changing the value of the border width. All right, so I'll take this back to maybe 2 or 1, any value that you want. Okay, that's nice. So I'm going to get a few more content in my HTML body elements. So maybe let's say heading 2, just to see other values, other border type. Heading 3. But the truth is, most times, right, if you are designing, you'll be using solid, more of solid actually. Designers hardly use dotted, dash, or the double. We have double. So we're using more of solid and none. So there are times whereby you won't actually want the default border that comes with a particular element, just like this button. Most times designers don't use this border that comes with HTML button elements. All right. And then to remove it, you need to set the border property to none. All right. So heading 1, heading 2, just to see different styles that we have. Then let's say 4. Heading 4. Save this. And then for H2, first, let's see. Great. Heading 1, 2, 3, and 4. So H2 border width 1 pixels, border style. So let's do dashed now. Dashed, and then border color. Let's go for red using hexadecimal value. So it's going to be FF0000 for red. Then refresh. Dash dash. Okay, I guess it's too tiny. So I'm going to increase the width to maybe 4 so that we can see it clearly. So you see, so it gives us dashed border style. So dash dash dash. So we have dotted. We proceed and use dotted on the H3. I mean, can just copy this line, straight line, dump it right here, and then change the style from dash to dotted, and then maybe you can change the color as well. So let's get yellow. Yeah, because if you combine red and green, it gives yellow color. Save, and then refresh. This yellow is not visible enough, so I'm going to FF purple. So red and blue gives purple, right? Refresh. So I believe you can see this right, dotted. So gives this dotted style or dot style or border. So we have body double as well, double. So H4 dump double. So let's go for red. So it's going to give double border actually. So you see double line border. Right, then for none. So look at this button here. This is our button, get started. So if you do not want border on that element, you can select the element button and say border none. Save. Then just place your eyes on this border here. If I refresh now, you see the border is gone. So this is how you can remove border from an element. Okay, finally let's see how we can use the shorthand property, the border shorthand property. So I'm going to create a paragraph here. Say Lorem, maybe 30. Okay, so paragraph with some dummy text here. If I refresh, so right here, great. So using shorthand property, so I'm going to use the type selector P and then open up the declaration block. So shorthand means just border. So this border here is a shorthand property for border width, border style, and border color. So if you do not want to set them individually, if you don't want to type them individually, you can use this border shorthand property, and then you pass in 3 values. So the first one is the border width, then space, no comma this time around, please. If you use comma, it's not going to work. So space to separate each of the value. So the first one is for border width, second one is border style, so solid, and the third one is border color. So I want blue using the hexadecimal code. It's going to be hash 0000FF. Save, back to the browser. So it's the paragraph here, right? Refresh. Then you can see we have the border and that's our paragraph. So that's that for border. Now there is another thing I want us to look at before we close the chapter for border, which is the rounded corner. So as you can see, the edges of this border here is quite sharp, right? But you can make it round, okay, which is the rounded corner border. And to achieve that, we use the border radius property in CSS. So I'm going to create another button, yes, or we can still use the same button. Yes, you can use the same button. So this is this button right here. So I'm going to say, I'm going to style it a little bit. First, I like to increase the font size to maybe 28 pixels or 32. The value doesn't matter at this point. I just want us to see this content very well. Okay, so get started, and then I can change the background using the linear gradient. Okay, linear gradient, so I can say light blue, and yeah, light color. So combine these two colors together. Let's see. Okay, great. We have this. And then I would still like to increase this. Okay, maybe this is okay. All right, great. Now for rounded corner, right, we need the border radius property. So border dash radius. So you can set any value that you want. So for instance, you say 10 pixels. 10 pixels, if I refresh, great, you can see. So we have this rounded corner at this point, 10 pixels. If you want a shape like ellipse, right, ellipse shape, you need to set this to 100 pixels. 100 pixels, refresh, and then we have this nice looking button. All right. So I'm going to create a box. I'm going to create a box now. Maybe a div, and then I will say a box. So a div, so I can select this div in my style, okay, my style, and then I'm going to set the width. I'm going to size this and say width of 300 pixels, height of 300, maybe, yeah, 300 pixels as well. And then for border, I would like this to be 1 pixel solid black. Save. And mind you, if you have common pairs, right? Now pair here means that for red we have the same value, 00 for red, and then for green we have 00, and then for blue we have 00. So if you have something like this, you can just type 3 digits, so 000. This works, all right? It works perfectly. Like this one as well, you can have 00F and it will still give you blue. 00F, it will still give you blue. But in a situation whereby the values are not the same, so for instance, if the value for red is 02, so you can't actually get 3 digits or 3 characters for that hexadecimal code. Please take note of that. So this will still give us black. So save this. So let's see on the browser. Okay, so we have this box right here. I would like to reduce the height, or maybe we should just go with that. Or we have this box, and then so if you want rounded corner, the border radius, and say 12 pixels. 12 pixels. So just take note of the, see, we have this rounded, nice looking border radius. And if you want to make it a perfect circle, all you need to do is to say border radius 50%. So you have to use percentage this time around. Percentage will actually do the job for us. So we have a perfect circle. Okay. And then if you want ellipse again, we have to set this to 100 pixels. Okay, so we have this shape. So this is how we can create rounded corner using the border radius property in CSS.